2 squared, but x plus 2 squared is x squared plus 4x plus 2 squared. So I got to add in 4. And now I have that 4 that I factored out. I got to multiply by that 4, and I get 16. Okay? Complete the square for the y squared minus 6y. That is y minus 3 squared, which is y squared minus 6y plus 9. Do that to both sides of the equal sign. And my right side of my equal sign ends up being 16. So that was my step 4, complete the square. Okay. Is this a circle? No, because I wouldn't do circles twice. I know it's not a circle because on circles I don't have any number outside the parentheses. So to get rid of the number outside the parentheses, I divide both sides by the number left over here on the right. I divide both sides by the 16. Because I want this equal to 1. Okay? So now I got 4/16 x plus 2 squared, which means I take the 16 divided by the 4 and get 12. Plus y minus 3 squared. I take the 16. Oh, there's nothing to divide it by, so the 16 is going to stay over 4. Why did I write 12? 16 divided by 4 is 4 still. It always has been. Oh, I subtracted? Boy. Okay. There we go. Right. Alrighty. What shape is this? This is an ellipse. Its center is at -2, +3. -2, +3. The vertical axis is the longer one. It's the square root of 16. It's 4. So up 4, down 4. The horizontal axis is the shorter one. Square root of 4 is 2. So we're going like here and there. There's my ellipse. For the ellipse and the hyperbola, you have to give me the focus. Now to get the focus, we need C. For an ellipse, we have C squared equals A squared minus B squared. Oh, A squared minus B squared will give me a negative number. So it's going to be B squared minus A squared. So C squared is 16 minus 4. Which means C squared equals 12, which means C is the square root of 12, better known as 2 root 3. 4 times 3 is 12, yeah. Okay, that doesn't give me my focus. That gives me the distance from the center to my focus. My foci are along the same axis as the center and the two longer vertices. So it's on the longer axis. So let me see if I can figure out where those 2 points are for my foci. So I know for the foci the x coordinate of this bottom red one is -2. The y coordinate, I start at the center and at 3, and I go down by a distance of 2 root 3. So the y coordinate is 3 minus 2 root 3. My other focus is up 2 root 3 from the center. And its x coordinate is still -2, just like all the rest. So my other focus is negative 2 comma 3 plus 2 root 3. And there are my foci. And no, we are not done because we're going to do the hyperbola. Now, in the beginning, I knew this was an ellipse because the coefficient on my x squared term and the coefficient on my y squared term were different. When they're the same, it's a circle. When they're different, it's an ellipse. Unless you are a hyperbola. We'll see what that means in just a second. Glad I only have to do this lecture once a year. All right, ready for hyperbolas? I got x squared minus 16y squared minus 2x plus 128y equals 271. Am I making these numbers up? No, but I'm pulling these problems from particular places because if the numbers aren't right, the equations get too hard. Step number 1, move the constant to the right. Already done. Step number 2, organize. X squared minus 2x minus 16y squared plus 128y equals 271. Step number 3, factor out coefficients on any squared terms. Oh, there's no coefficient on the x squared term, so I don't have to do that part. That part is already taken care of for me. I have to factor out this negative 16. And 128 divided by 16 is 8. Negative 16 times negative 8y gives me positive 128. That's a tricky step. When I got a negative coefficient on the y squared, I have to consider that when I do my little factoring part. Okay. Step number 4, complete the square. X squared minus 2x is x minus half of 2, x minus 1 squared, which is x squared minus 2x plus 1 squared. Add that to both sides of the equal sign. Y squared minus 8y is y minus half of 8, 4 squared. Negative 4 squared is 16, so I got to add in 16. And I have to multiply by that negative 16 that was to the left of the parentheses. Which is negative 256. And 271 plus 1 minus 256 is 16. Yes. The positive 16 comes from this negative 4 squared. The negative 16 comes from which negatives? It comes from this negative 16 right here. Okay. What kind of conic section do I have? Recognize it yet? Must be a hyperbola because I haven't done one yet. Would divide both